So, this is the video, and I'm gonna be giving y'all a story time on when I had a dream that I had $900,000. Not had, I was told in the dream that I had $900,000. And so after that, like literally, it was like Spirit was I was laying down, I wasn't even doing nothing, and Spirit was like, "You have $900,000," and I was like, "What?" And it was like clear as day. It was like, "You have $900,000," and I'm like, "Okay." And then after that, I went to sleep. And then the next day, I woke up, and basically, I started planning my dream life. I was like, "Oh, bitch, I got $900,000," you know. But within like 2 to 3 months, I was so burnt out. And I couldn't even look at my YouTube feed. Like, I was so disgusted. I didn't even want to watch nothing, no video, no learn no new information, nothing. Because I realized that I was manifesting from a very conditional space. And I was trying to fit something square into a triangle hole. Okay? And I was ignoring my internal alignment, basically. So let's get into it, okay? Okay, so I'm gonna start from the beginning. So when I decided that I started planning my life, I was like, oh, I want to move. Like, I was living at home with my mom, and I was like, I want to move, but I don't know where I want to move to, right? Sorry, this is my iPad, and it's shaking. I was like, I want to move, but I don't know where I want to move. And so I decided to go on a road trip and visit. That was my phone. And I decided to go on a road trip and visit all the places that I considered like that I wanted to move to. So I was making this road trip. And while I was doing this road trip, I started figuring out like what I was going to need, right? I knew I was going to need a car because I didn't have a car. And I was like, okay, what kind of car am I going to have? Like, what am I going to be driving? And I wanted to be as minimal as possible because I don't like being called the bag lady. And I knew that I wanted my own car. So I started looking up vehicles, right? I started looking up luxury cars. And then I realized that that wasn't going to work because a lot of luxury cars are not built for utility. They're built for luxury. And so after that, I was looking at the Lexus GX 550 because it had just came out, and I really liked it, but I didn't like how it was more utilitarian built, and it was no luxury. Like, this was a $80,000 car, and it was lacking in so many points, to me personally, in my personal opinion. So somehow, some way, I landed on getting a RV, and I looked at an Airstream. And when I was looking at this, okay, now I gotta find vehicles to pull this Airstream, right? So I landed on a heavy-duty pickup truck, and then, of course, I'm doing all the research. I'm on YouTube every single day, watching videos, learning all that I can about certain vehicles, certain cars, what is needed, because this is a road trip, and you gotta do your research, If I had that $900,000, I would have had to do all this anyway, but I'm glad that I didn't because, physically I didn't, because imagine how much money I would have wasted by just jumping in and purchasing things, buying things that was not going to be conducive to this road trip. So I found out about heavy-duty pickup trucks, and I found out about diesel engines. Those were the best engines to have in a heavy-duty pickup truck. And after all the research I had to do on RVs, RV camping, the maintenance, that's really where the burnout was starting to happen, because like I said, I originally wanted my road trip to be as easy breezy as possible. I wanted to be able to get in and get out. I wanted to be able to stop off in a city, and have my free time. And I wanted to be able to move around the city, and, because I had my dog with me. And I just wanted to be able to get up and go whenever I needed to. And what I started realizing with this vehicle is that if I was to do an RV, you can't get up and go, right? Unless you was to park it at an RV park. And then what I also realized is having a diesel engine has a lot of maintenance, a lot of upkeep, and you got to put in DEF every so couple of miles. You know, you can't put it in the wrong hole or you'll mess up your whole car. You know, a lot of people was having issues with their diesel engines on the road. Like, not bad, but I'm not saying that I would have it, but these are the things you need to be prepared for. And so over time, I'm starting to get burnt out about this. Like, this information is starting to make me not want to go on this road trip anymore. Like, I'm starting to feel myself become like not like this idea anymore. Like, it's starting to become too much energetically. And I started to get to the point where I'm overloading myself on information because there was just so much information that I had to cover. RVing, road tripping with an RV, maintenance, the daily things you have to do for an RV, and also this pickup truck that's a heavy duty with a diesel engine. Both of those things at the same time did not sit right with me. But I kept trying to force it. I kept thinking, well, maybe if I find out more information, well, maybe there's a different way. So I'm just overloading myself and consuming all of this information, trying to do my research, because I'm thinking, if I know, then I won't have any issues. But there's no amount of knowing, and there's no level of information that is going to bring me status, ease, and relief and peace. Like, I was clearly emotionally disturbed by all of this information, and it wasn't gelling with my original intent, was to have an easy, free-flowing road trip, like to be able to get up and go. That's my energy. I like to be able to get up and go. And this setup, having an RV and a heavy-duty diesel pickup truck, was not going to allow that, but I kept trying to force it into being, right? So now, I kept becoming repulsed by my YouTube feed, because, so we all know, if you don't know, your social media feed, whether that's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, specifically Instagram and YouTube, I think they do it best. Your feed is a direct reflection of your energetic field. So it's not a direct, it's almost like a mirror. So the same way that you could do research on something and look something up, you know, and let's say you go down a rabbit hole, all of a sudden now YouTube is showing you like similar videos, similar content creators, you know, because you spent a significant amount of time researching these certain things, right? Okay. So especially YouTube, I think YouTube and Instagram is like very well, and I've experienced this consciously to the point where I'm like, oh, okay, I see. So these social media algorithms are very much like your relationship towards your energetic field, or your field of awareness, or your quantum field, right? The moment you turn your awareness and your energy and attention onto something, it automatically now becomes part of your field, and it gets reflected back to you, because your energy and awareness has now made the unseen seen. This wasn't part of your awareness before, but now that it is, because you have interest, right? And the more you focus on this, the more it's gonna flood. And that's what happened to me. My feed on YouTube started to flood with RV, road tripping, heavy duty trucks and engines and diesels, and it was just so much, and it started to make me repulsed. Now, why would it make me repulsed? Because that wasn't my energetic alignment. That's not what I wanted. It was, and it's not that it has anything to do with the truck itself. It was how I felt thinking about an RV. It was the way these RV and this the heavy duty truck and the diesel engine made me feel. It made me feel uneasy. It made me feel uncertain. It made me feel like there's no amount of information I'm going to be able to get that's going to make me feel okay with driving a heavy duty diesel pickup truck and operating an RV. And I kept saying, well, I felt like it would make sense if I was to get an RV if I had like a partner, like if somebody was coming along with me, you know, because then I wouldn't be, all the maintenance and all that effort wouldn't just be on me by myself. But I'm traveling solo with my dog, so everything would be on me. And it started to become overwhelming. It started to feel overwhelming, and it started to just feel like it was too much, and this is not what I signed up for energetically. This is not what I originally set out for. This is not the easy breezy road trip, get in, get out, have fun, drop the car off, and explore kind of vibe. That wasn't what I was looking for, okay? And I had to be real with myself. So the realization came was that, like I said, I wanted an easy, effortless road trip, right? And that's not what an RV life was going to give me. So the moment that I dropped that, I mean, it was like instant. The moment that I said, you know what, I don't want this anymore. I don't want an RV. I don't want a heavy duty pickup truck. I don't want to deal with no diesel engine. This is not for me. I don't like it. The moment I dropped it and I let it go, instantly I felt relief. I felt like, oh my God, okay, this feels like I stopped trying to make fetch happen, I stopped trying to make this be the only way to get what I wanted, right? And then I think the next day or something, I was able to get back on YouTube because I realized, okay, I don't have to want this anymore. And then I ended up finding about cargo trailers. And I was like, oh shit, I could just get a cargo trailer. But I didn't know anything about this stuff. So I was like, I could just get a cargo trailer. And I decided that would be most best because I don't have that much stuff. I don't need to bring a whole home with me on the road. I just needed something to carry my personal items because I have a dog. So that means my whole back seat was going to be taken up by him, right? And then with a cargo bed, I didn't want a big cargo bed if I was going to get a pickup truck. Why? Because I still wanted to have my pickup truck be my daily driver. So in the event that I'm doing a lot of city driving and I got to park, why would I want a big ass 6.5 foot, 8.5 foot bed truck when I don't need that? You know what I'm saying? So that's ultimately what drove me to the Dodge Ram trucks, because I like that they have a 5.5 inch bed, which I think is perfect for people who don't really haul a lot of things, you know what I mean, but you still just want the bed because it comes, right, but you don't need anything. And it also helps when you're trying to park in urban areas, in downtown city, city areas. Having that 5.5 foot bed is perfect for that. So yeah, and now that I have had that experience, whenever I feel stressed or burnt out or repulsed by something, right, I'm automatically aware that, okay, this is clearly not in energetic alignment with me, and I'm trying to force it, and I can't make fetch happen, right? And so I need to drop it, and I need to let it go, and I need to take a step back. And the moment I start doing that and I become aware, it's instant. I instantly feel myself back in alignment. It's almost like a snap. It's so quick. It's almost like a water hose had a knot in it. And the moment I untie this knot, now I'm able to breathe, and I'm able to look at, and I'm able to feel relief. And the moment you feel relief, the moment you're back in alignment, the moment you can now accept the good that's coming to you, right? Shout out to Abraham Hicks. So I wanted to share this because if you may feel burnt out by your own goals, or go through these moments and stages where you're trying to work through your goals, and you hit these moments of stress and stride and burnt out, and you feel yourself out of alignment, and now nothing makes sense, right? You're stressed, you don't want to. Now all of a sudden the goals that you were happy and excited about you're feeling repulsed by, right? I'm creating a 4-week mini arc guide. It's going to be a guide that I'm going to be dropping on January 20th for the new moon in Capricorn, okay? And it's going to help you, guide you back to finding that feeling. Because the way that I was able to find that feeling is because I was journaling every day. That's the secret sauce for me. I was only able to be aware that I was out of energetic alignment and I was feeling repulsed is because I had to journal every day. And through my journaling every day, I was talking about what was going on throughout these days. And I was able to realize, oh shit, this is a thing. I'm clearly not liking this. Why? And I was able to find out that was why. I was feeling burnt out. I was stressed out, and I was consuming too much information on something that was already out of alignment, right? So that was the only way I was able to figure that out for myself. It was because like I said, I had to journal every day. So every day I'm talking about what's going on, and I'm saying yeah, I don't like this. And then once I went back and listened, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And then it hit me one day. I was journaling and I was like, oh, I don't like this. I'm clearly out of alignment. This is not an energetic match to me, and I'll keep trying to force it, right? But like I said, because I had to journal, journaling was like a black box, right, on a flight recorder, because it showed me the patterns that I was clearly going through. And this was like 2 weeks worth of feeling burnt out and stressed out and repulsed by this information, right? And at the end, the peak was the point where I couldn't get on YouTube anymore. Like, I hated it. I didn't want to get on YouTube at all, like at all, because that was all my field. My YouTube feed was full of was RV stuff and heavy duty diesel mechanic trucks, engines, car brands, all kinds of stuff, towing. Like, it was just a mess. And without my journaling, without these journals, I thought that I would have just been tired. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I just need to take a break, or, oh, I'm spending too much time, not actually realizing that it was because I was trying to force this energetic match, right? So with my journals, I was able to see that it was an alignment issue. It was an energetic match issue, that this was my intention to have an easy breezy road trip. But through this process, I hit a snag, and I was trying to force an outcome that was not meant for me, that was not matching my original intention, right? And the moment that I was able to undo that knot in the hose, everything freed up, and I was able to move forward like it was nothing happened. And every time that had came up, now I know, right, that, oh, this is just not an energetic match for me. I should let it go. I should stop trying to force it. I obviously don't like this. I obviously don't want this, right? So yeah, I'm going to be dropping, today is January 6th. I am going to be dropping this guide on January 20th for the new moon in Capricorn. I'm currently developing it right now. And the guide is going to be for the people who are familiar with their birth chart, so they can find out, they can use that information of where the new moon is going to fall in their chart. And it's also going to be for people who don't know astrology, don't have their accurate birth time in their birth chart, but they still know how to set intentions, right? So I'm going to be creating that for both groups of people. So don't feel like you need to know. No, you don't. It's okay. Okay. So I just wanted to share that story, and I'm going to be dropping more stories like that over my 8 months of journaling. So this is going to be like my little series, and kind of giving y'all some tidbits and everything, because I'm also working on the book. So I'm also taking all of my journal entries and I'm turning them into a book. Just to gotta do something with them, It's gonna be an audiobook. So yeah, I'm working on that as well. Right now, this Capricorn season, all the planets that are in Capricorn is in my 11th house. So yeah, that's a house of gains, networks, gains from career, putting in that work. Also, January for me is a universal 4 month, so I'm hitting the pavement and putting in work. That's why I'm making this video. I've been putting it off, and now I need to do it, so I'm doing it. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.